Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Wednesday, the 28th of April. Hi, I'm Paul and I'll be your host here on New Zealand Sports Radio. In the news today, we'll be taking a look at the basketball with the NBA and the AAU NBL. We'll talk about the A-League in football. There's also news from the NRL around conferences and as well as an injury update on RTS. We'll be talking also about some new hires for the Chiefs, as well as checking in on the IPL for what was an absolute cracker of a game there, the very exciting finish over there. This is your best way to start the day up to speed with all of the important sports news. And let's kick off with that basketball over in the States, where there were 11 games yesterday taking place, including Stephen Adams' Pelicans up against the Clippers. The Clippers going well in the Western Conference, challenging at the top there, whereas the Pelicans down in towards the bottom of the table. But on the night, that wasn't to play a part, where the Pelicans came out and had a cracking opening quarter, taking a 13-point lead early on, and they just extended that in every quarter by the last one to win 120 to 103. A double-double from Willie Hernan Gomez with 10 rebounds and 12 points for the Pelicans. Zion Williamson led the scoring with 23 points. Stephen Adams not in action in this one, though, up against the Pelicans. They won comfortably against the Clippers. Other key results from around the league. So the Suns beat the Knicks 118 to 110. The Lakers get a win over the Magic 114 to 103, as well as the 76ers thumping the Thunder 121 to 90 in that one as well. And also the Nuggets getting a big win 120 to 96 over the Grizzlies. What does that mean for the table? Well, the Jazz still lead the Western Conference ahead of the Suns and the Clippers there. Clippers still at the top end, even with that loss. And on the Eastern side, the Nets lead the 76ers and the Bucks there. Moving on then to the NBL. And they will be back in action tonight. The Breakers will be taking on Melbourne United, and that starts at 9:30 p.m. Do join us tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for the morning sports briefing for an update on how the Breakers went against Melbourne United in the basketball. Moving on then to the A-League. Yesterday, Sydney FC took on Melbourne, a victory. And Sydney FC picked up a 1-0 win in that one to put them up into fourth place in that. Sorry, I think that's updated my table there. Sorry, folks. They did pick up a 1-0 win, but that's improved them up. To second place in the table, just 1 point behind Melbourne City at the top there, but they have played 2 more games in that one. Melbourne Victory is down in 11th place. And basically their season is pretty much over, let's be honest. Today, Central Coast Mariners will take on Brisbane Roar in that one. Central Coast Mariners up in 3rd place, Brisbane Roar in 9th, and you're going to say 2 points behind the Phoenix. But with 4 games in hand, the Brisbane Roar really need to get these wins now if they want to make the finals. So a must-win game for Brisbane Roar in a tough one against Central Coast Mariners this evening. Moving on to rugby news, and the Chiefs have named 2 signings for the rest of the season, with Liam Messam and Tom Florence will be joining the side. This is due to season-ending injuries to Callum Boshier, Mitchell Karpik, and Simon Parker as well. So Sad for them, but two players coming in there. Liam Messam, obviously, we all know the former All Black, and Tom Florence, who's had some time with the Highlanders, but is based down in Taranaki at the moment, coming into the side. The Chiefs coaches was insisting that they would not be resting players for this game against the Blues coming weekend, but all the speculation in the media is that we'll see a whole bunch of changes for the Chiefs ahead of their game against the Blues, as it doesn't impact whether they'll be making the final or not the following weekend against the Crusaders. Some big news over in NRL, where there's the potential, where they're looking at the potential of splitting the competition into two conferences, looking at having a Sydney conference that would hold the Roosters, Rabbitohs, Eels, Bulldogs, Tigers, Panthers, Dragons, Sharks, and Sea Eagles, and then having a outer Sydney conference that would include the Broncos, Titans, Cowboys, Storm, Warriors, Knights, Raiders, a new Brisbane franchise, and a new New Zealand team as well. So those proposals are being looked at. Clearly, they need to add 2 teams before they could do that. So it's not something that's going to be happening immediately, but something that could be on the cards further down the line. Do join the boys on the Standoff show this evening at 8 p.m, where I'm sure they will discuss all the details on this one, give you their opinions, whether it's a good or a bad thing to head down the American style route of leagues. Also, they'll be having a chat about Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, who apparently dislocated his finger in the warm-up last weekend, and also cut it as well. So there was a lot of blood. He had to be patched up ahead of the game. An injury, the coach said that most players would have ruled him out of the game, but he got himself strapped up and played on. This weekend, he has been named at fullback, but just like last weekend, where he played in different positions on attack, on defence, we could be seeing something similar again this weekend. So we'll just have to wait and see. I say, listen to the stand-up shows evening at 8 p.m. and they'll give you your opinion as to how he'll be lining up and playing this coming weekend. Don't forget, you can support New Zealand Sports Radio and get access to exclusive videos and podcasts as well. Just head over to nzsportradio.com and you can sign up there. Just click on one of the articles or videos that have been put behind the paywall, and you can sign up right there. In the cricket then, and it was Royal Challengers Bangalore against Delhi Capitals last night, and Royal Challengers Bangalore went in to bat first with lots of players making decent starts, but not really going on to make that score, as we saw Kohli got 12, Pandikar 17, Paditar 31, and Maxwell 25. It wasn't until AB de Villiers came in and scored 75 off 42 balls that to power them to 171 for 5 that anybody really took charge of the innings. None of the bowlers were particular standouts. It was a team effort there from the Delhi Capitals, and they set off chasing that one, losing a couple of players early on cheaply, as Dhawan went for 6 and Stephen Smith for 4. But Pant, the captain wicketkeeper, came in and along with Hetmeyer got put together a strong partnership. Pant finishing on 58 not out, and Hetmeyer on 53 and not out. It came down to the final over with the Delhi Capitals requiring 14 off the last over. 2 singles and a dot ball really made made it difficult, and it was just too much, as needing a 6 off the final over. Pant got it out there for 4, and the Royal Challengers Bangalore won by 1 run at the end there. So a cracking game in the IPL there for that one. This is your best way to, you've now started your day the best way up to speed with all the important sports news. Have a cracking day, folks. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. with the morning sports briefing.